So here we are. We're brand new in the new video, and I was just saying goodbye. Now I'm saying hello, 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 hello. How you doing? Do you have your cup of tea or your cup of coffee? If you do, have another sip, won't you? I really can't stay. Don't know what's in my way. But it's cold outside. I love my makeup. I don't think that's how that goes. Okay. I was talking about my 5 favorites of my 2 favorites. The first one is, of course, Chanel. And then one of my favorite brands. Just because I so love her for sticking up for causes. And she really captured my heart on this one. Let me go back to the one she captured my heart on. And that was the Save the Horses palette. Actually, it's called the Wild Horses palette. But on the front of it is some beautiful horses running. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that because of the way that it shines. I'm going to kind of change it back and forth so you can kind of see. They're running in a shadow kind of a way. It's on a metallic strip, so it's very hard. You're seeing the reflection of my lights. But there's really no way to let you see it except on reflection. But it called attention to the plight of the wild horse and how they're being treated. And it was just horrific. When I read it, I was just like, and I saw a video, and the little ponies, they're running them to death out in the wildland, and they're trying to corral them up, but they're running them so hard they're killing them. And they were killing the little ponies because they couldn't take it. And then in the end of the video, you see the black stallion. They didn't get him. He was so wild, they just couldn't corral him. And you see him far off in the distance, and he turns around and he looks at all his horses that are being taken away, probably for a slaughter. And then he kind of rears up a little bit, like almost in anger or rebellion, and then he runs away, like, I'll live, so that we'll live. And it just broke my heart. Anyway, the colors in this are, this is backwards. You know what? I just realized this is backwards. Okay. Because the cheek color, there's always a cheek color in Chantecaille's palettes, which you can double for an eye transition color, eyelid color, but you can use it for a blush. And the blush color is called Freedom. The highlighter is called Palomino. Black Stallion is the eyeliner, and the Mustang is the eye color. Interesting. They actually had this backwards. But anyway, here's the palette. And you can see the imprint of the horses on the palette. So I'm just so scared to use it because it's so beautiful. But you can see the cheek colors right here on the top. Whoopsie, sorry. And the highlighters next to it. And then you can see the eye color for the lid and the crease down here. And then obviously this is eyeliner or outer V. So it's a beautiful, beautiful palette that I don't want to use. I think you can still get it, guys. They are expensive, but this is one of those that if you're a makeup collector, you want to have this in your collection, even if, like me, you don't even use it because it's so pretty. Okay. So then, after that, that wasn't the first palette I ever got. This was. You can imagine why. It's all diamonds and it's sparkly. It's so beautiful. I love it. And it says Chantecaille across the bottom. And this one's called the Diamonds Eyeshadow Trio. And I don't know that it was fighting against mining or anything like that. Matter of fact, I don't think there was anything initially imprinted on this. It just was the diamonds. And they are very high shimmer. But it's obviously got a highlighter. And then over here, it's got your transition color in the middle as your darker color for the outer V and under the lash. So it's a perfect little palette, especially for going out. Anyway, the second palette that I got after I was doing the Wild Horses, then this one was called Save the Bees, and it was about the plight of the honeybee and how if we don't do something to help it that we're going to die because they are the ones that pollinate everything. And so again, it's on a metal strip, so I don't know if you can see the little honeycomb behind the bee, and then the bee reflects. But inside, again, it's a quad, and it has imprints of bees on a flower pollinating. And The highlight color, what is interesting to me is like a baby blue, like an ice blue. It's very baby blue. I would say it's an ice blue. And then it's got that same kind of a sandy color for transition, a dark brown for in the crease. And that's got a very pretty peach color. And these are more cream than shimmer, or should I say more matte than shimmer. And I thought that blue, I thought, oh no, there's no way that's going to look good. But it's just such an icy color, and it is matte that looks fantastic right under the outer brow and right on the inner corner. And you could do it, you know, on your lid with a really heavy liner, and it would be just awesome. And then I saw this one. This is their 15-year anniversary, and they were trying to call attention to the plight of many animals in trouble. One was the sea turtle. One was the monarch butterfly. Again, could be catastrophic. People think it's a butterfly. It's like, no, 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 no. This has to do with crops. It's very important that we have it. And pollinators are very important to crops. So then, and also the elephant, because of all that's being done to kill elephants for their ivory. I think now they're actually painting them pink or something to make them very ugly. Of course, pink I would love, but so that they won't be sought after for the beautiful ivory, and they'll leave the elephants alone because they're killing them just for their tusks. It's terrible. And the sea turtles are just, I think they're getting caught up in the pollution of the ocean, and just maybe some natural causes for them. But either way, we need to help these animals live, because our survival depends on it. And so this again is your typical 3 colors that you need. I don't know if you can see, because I have used this a lot. The butterfly is almost totally gone. You can barely see the elephant. You can barely see the sea turtle. But again, it's obviously a highlighter, a dark color, and a transition color, and it looks absolutely fabulous. I just love it so much. And then last but not least is the Chantecaille, the Coral Reefs palette. And again, it's about, you know, making sure that we are taking care of the ocean, because the coral reef has so much impact on our ecology. So again, they're actually very similar colors every time, I'm just noticing. But I have used these, and when I originally had them, the actual piece of coral was in a gold shimmer, gold lame, and it was gorgeous. You can see hints of it right down there, and there, maybe a little there. But it was beautiful. You could see the imprint of the coral on it. But now it's just a highlighter, a transition shade, an outer V shade, and again a peachy shade for the cheek. Come to think of it, these are so similar. It's weird. They're a little bit different. Like, that's a very opalescent color highlighter, and this one is more brown transition, and this is a more gray tone brown, whereas this is a more gold transition and more of a chocolate brown. So they are different. The cheek colors are even very similar, but they are different. Maybe. The cheek colors look almost exactly alike. But anyway. So it's a Coral Reef one. And what I would say about these, again, it's so convenient, because when you put them on, you always have your blush with you. So this is a nice palette to keep in your purse, except that I know that you should use the makeup that you have. But except that because it's a collector's edition, oops, sorry about that with the mirror. Because it's a collector's edition, I don't like to carry it in my purse, because I'm always afraid that they'll get all, you know, jumbled around and caked up and come to pieces. And, you know, definitely you take off the finish, you know, the golden finish of whatever was on there. Because when you first get it, whatever the animal is, it's kind of like got a brushed gold over it so you can see it. And that's just a top thing. You know, once you get past that. Matter of fact, I don't even think it transfers to your eye. It's just to make the imprint stand out. And eventually you mess up the imprint by using it, because you can barely even see those little pieces of coral that look like this. That's what they look, I'm sorry, the bee, that look like that. Except there on the cover, the bee is on a honeycomb, and in the actual palette, the bee is on a flower imprint. I don't know if you can see it, but it is so, so pretty. And I really do like, you know, I like having a highlighter, transition color, and a brown. And certainly with the, I kind of feel like with the Chanel palettes, there's more variation in colors. And, you know, she makes no bones about that. Her variation isn't colors, it's causes. So I really love her, though. I love that she does that. because people can do a lot of things with makeup, and she chooses to use her makeup palettes to make a statement for saving animal bases that really are critical to the survival of mankind. Okay. I talked so fast. I'm like really tired now. So that was that. My faves of my faves. Faves of my faves is what we'll call it. Now, one thing that I'm going to do. Okay. One thing that I'm going to do is and I know a lot of people do this, but I'm doing it just because I talk about Chanel a lot and I talk about some high-end brands a lot, but I know that everybody doesn't have the money for that. I don't have the money for that. You know what I'm saying? I shouldn't be doing it. You know what I mean? But I do save up and wait. I may get one palette per paycheck, which, depending on which kind it is, it's either $40 or $60. So they're very, very expensive. So, I mean, I totally get it that, you know, you need to find dupes for this stuff. And that's why it was important to me to use both the L'Oreal and the Maybelline 24 to come back and try to find some dupes for my absolutely I loves lip and tints by Chanel. Because yes, it lasts a long time. Yes, it smells better because it smells like chocolate. Yes, the gloss isn't a petroleum stick. It's a really high gloss and it's just as moisturizing, if not more. And the color's vibrant. It stays on. I'm finding that these guys stay on pretty good. So, and they're a lot cheaper. I mean, they're not inexpensive because they're not like $5. They're more like, I think that was $7.99 on sale. So, but we're going to do some dupes so that everybody can have a little something. All right. And I will see you guys again on my next video. So goodbye, 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 goodbye.